Hi everyone, happy Diwali. Welcome back to Sports Angle. We are here to discuss IPL retentions with a very near and dear guest. Yep, stay tuned. This is part one, and we're going to be releasing a part two as well, where we're going to be discussing the rest of the five teams as well as the auction strategy. Stay tuned. Hi guys, welcome back. As I said, we have a special guest here, my brother, my best friend, Michael. Without wasting much time, we're going to be discussing the IPL retention, what's gone right, what's gone wrong, and what to expect in the mega auction. We're going to be starting in the order of where they finished in the table last year. So to begin with, of course, the champions, KKR, and let's go through their retention list. So they have retained six players, and the most expensive one out here is Rinku Singh, followed by Varun for 12 crores, Sunil for 12 crores, Andre Russell for 12 crores, and Rana and Ramandeep for 4 crore each. Michael, what are your thoughts on this? I think they've played it slightly. They've played it slightly onto the younger side of things. But what do you make of Rinku at 13 crores and the rest of the roster as well?
I think Rinku deserves it. From a perspective of the team, I think when you're retaining Varun and Sunil, you've got your spin duo
Yeah,
intact. So that really plays very well in Eden
correct.
Gardens. So they've really done well there.
Yeah,
Andre Russell had to be retained. There's no other way. He's their MVP. The
yeah,
one miss for sure is going to be Shreyas Iyer. I think when you've not
fully
retained your
agree.
winning captain,
Yeah,
it's going to cause some sort of ruckus.
yeah.
The other player that's unfortunately missed out is also Nitish Rana.
Hmm.
He was the captain of the season before on when Iyer was injured. So those were probably two big misses, but I think they were very smart retaining two uncapped players because
Yeah.
they've maintained a little bit of auction flexibility against other teams that have retained 5-6. So when you've retained Harshit Rana and Ramandeep for four each, you've still got a solid base to start off.
No, fully agree. I think they missed a trick here by not, getting in Shreyas Iyer. I mean, it's a IPL winning captain, pretty blind. It should be your
Yeah.
first choice. It should be your first go-to choice. This, I don't know. Maybe they're thinking of having Rinko as captain, or I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me. But I think one very good thing here which they did is, of course, retain Russell. Looks like a guy who's found form again. Looks to be
Yeah.
dangerous. One big miss here, Shreyas Iyer. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. Now moving on to the
And
second team.
the one last piece there, actually, to bring it up, is Stark. I don't think Stark was going to
Mm.
fit in that retention list ever.
I think Stark is more of that clutch player you'd like to have, but you can't
Yeah,
afford to have. Um,
agreed.
and it's such a big chunk of the purse he'd consume, and you may never know whether he's coming back or not. Because a lot of these Australian players
True.
have said that Australia is priority for them, especially with the hectic test, calendar coming up with, of course, with WTC in mind, everything, and even next year there are the Ashes as well. So I think
Yeah.
no workload manages better than the Australian bowlers. But yeah, coming on to the runners up of last year, SRH, who redefined T20 batting and made it look like they might score 300 at any point in time. Um, I feel have gotten the retentions at the very best. They have literally found the best mix: wicketkeeper, captain, young talent, and their MVPs, their openers, all secured. Of course, to start with, we have Klassen at 23 crores, Cummins at 18, Abhishek at 14, Head at 14, and followed by which Nitish Reddy at 6 crores. Very good balance. Of course, we'll have to fill in gaps with bowling and spin bowling here, but I feel like
Yeah.
more or less their batting looks sorted and their core looks even much more stronger, and you might just see the dominance flow through for the next 2-3 years. What they've been doing, redefining T20 batting and dominant display. What do you think?
I think they've got it spot on. There's
Yeah.
there's no arguments here.
Yep.
The five retentions they made are absolutely spot on.
Yep.
I think they could have also, if they really wanted to, they could have retained someone like a Sundar, because I
Hmm.
think Sundar's gonna fetch a decent price at the auction.
Fully
Because
agree.
he can play anywhere in your batting order, just as a guy who can score 20, 30 runs.
Yeah.
He can open your bowling, he can bowl in the middle overs. Of course, the one hole here is the fact that they don't have any of their bowlers retained,
Hmm.
but I don't think they've ever been a team that sort of goes for those big buys in terms of bowling. They've anyways got Cummins as their captain, so it's not really that big of a problem. But domestic bowling, something that they're really good at finding. So
Hmm.
they're still going to go for their role bowlers. I still think they're going to go for Bhuvneshwar and Natarajan in the auction. They're not going to fetch huge prizes, but
Yeah.
I think SRH has still got a very, very solid team.
Let's see. I mean, they've truly covered every base here. So let's see what
Yeah.
happens. Of course, now the third place team, Rajasthan Royals with 6 retentions. Sanju Samson at 18 crores, Jaiswal at 18 crores again, Parag at 14 crores, Dhruv Jurel at 14 crores, Sandeep Sharma at 4. When I was beginning to see this list, fair with the pricing, good captain, and of course, one of the most, you know, prodigal openers right now India has with Jaiswal, but with Parag and Dhruv consuming 28 crores of your purse. I mean, yeah, we've seen what Parag has done last season. Great. And, he's had a very good trajectory, but 14 crores is a lot. Because even in an auction, I don't think so. The
Yeah.
guy will go beyond 8 crores. Same for Dhruv Jurel. He's a 6 crore player. Maybe they have something on the pretext of it. Maybe they've thought something about it. I don't know.
The way I feel about it, I think Parag, they just wanted to retain him at any cost because
Yeah.
of his season last year. He
Hmm.
was really that crux of their middle order that
Correct.
helped them sort of carry through their innings. So
Yep.
he's definitely someone to have kept.
Yep.
I think they've missed the ball a little bit with Jurel. I don't think he should have been retained. I
Hmm.
think they should have retained Butler. I mean, Butler is
Yeah.
their main
Yeah.
batter.
Yeah.
He's one of their
Butler
top
is what
scorers.
makes,
Makes
yeah.
no sense.
Butler
It
is
makes
what
no
makes
sense to
Rajasthan
not
Royals
retain him.
dangerous. So many games
Yeah,
last, especially the one against KKR at Eden Gardens, where he
exactly.
single-handedly chased down that target whilst having a cramp. I mean, not retaining him is again
Yeah,
the stupidity. But again, like
but
as we said,
yeah,
that's the trend we have seen. Like
correct.
the biggest weakness with English players is not spin, it's commitment into the IPL.
Agreed.
They
Agreed.
they'll not commit to the IPL. They'd rather play 2 seasons of IPL less and play a full test season. That's who they are.
Yeah.
That's how they
And I
do it.
think one more piece here is that Dravid is their new head coach. He
Yep,
definitely backs well all the
yep,
way through.
yep,
We've seen that through Indian test matches. So
yep,
probably that also favored Jurel more than Butler here.
yep. Now comes to your baby, your own team where what you're repping today. RCB. Go ahead, Matt. This is your floor. I'm not going to be interfering except for nodding my head and saying yes or no. Or maybe not even no.
I mean, I feel RCB's retained good players. I
Hmm.
think they've done the right
Yeah,
thing
Virat
that they
Kohli is
had
an
to
up
do.
and coming player. I've heard a lot about him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Very
mean,
good
he's as
bowler.
young as ever. He's never gonna age, at least for us, ever. The cheers for him in the stadium will always remain the same.
Yeah, brilliant.
But we've retained three players right now. It's Kohli at 21 crores.
Yep,
Then we've got Rajat Patidar at 11. And then
yep,
we've got Yash Dayal at 5.
yep,
Um, I think when you look at the retentions, it signals two things. One is we've got our focus onto Indian core now a
yep.
lot more than we previously have had.
Hmm.
And two, Kohli, by the looks of it, is going to be our captain the upcoming season because it wouldn't make sense that he
Hmm.
would go over the market if he was not being the captain.
Fully.
Rajat was someone we needed because we needed domestic talent to finish games, and with the departure of DK, we
Hmm.
needed someone who could bat against spin. And then, of course, you needed one bowler to be retained. It could have been Siraj. I think that's one missing piece that I'm a little
Yeah,
hurt by, I think. But
yeah,
that's, of course, more of an emotional decision rather than anything else because he's been a part of the RCB setup for a while now.
yeah,
But Dayal proved himself last season, and for
yeah,
5 CR,
yeah.
there's no
Latam, India
reason to
Sigma.
be upset that we've
Yeah.
retained a very solid bowler who could have easily gone for 8 to 10 crores in the auction at just 5. But of course, the big misses here are Green, Jax, Maxi. But
Hmm.
of course, these are for very different circumstances. Green has a back injury that's put him out for 6 months.
Yep.
Jax is an English player. That board is not the best when it comes to IPL timeline. And of
Absolutely.
course, Maxi, unfortunate season last year.
Absolutely. Fully agree with you on those points. But let's see. Very good auction also coming up for them then. Yes. Now
Yeah.
followed by one of your favorite teams as well, Chennai Super Kings, um, which we all love from a very different point of view. Yeah, to start
Yeah.
with, first, obviously, they retained Ruturaj for 18 crores, Patirana for 13, Dubey for 12 crores, Jaddu for 18, and this another young uncapped player who's also had a pretty good name for himself in the last few years. Dhoni,
Yeah.
Mahendra Singh Dhoni for 4 crores.
Yeah.
Now, see, I feel like they've probably gone with their traditional approach where they've retained the core and some kind of players who do very well for them, and like the likes of Dubey and Patirana, and of course with a blend of experience which they have.
Yeah.
Very similar to what Mumbai Indians always does. Of course, we'll come to that at the end with Mumbai Indians. But again,
Yeah.
like I feel you're missing a trick with certain young players they will need. You know, someone like a Samir Rizvi, Mitchell Santner after the season he had and decimated India's batting.
Mhm.
I think they've missed a trick here. I genuinely believe they've missed a trick here with their because if you have to really succeed at Chepauk, you need very good spinners, and that needs to be a good chunk of
Right.
your purse. And
Yeah.
and by the looks of it, Dubey again will be utilized as that impact player, which does not suffice him even from that angle of India. But I think one thing they've done good here is Pati Rana and Ruturaj Gaikwad. Of course, they trust Gaikwad,
Mhm.
even though the underwhelming season he had last year, and with Pati Rana, who might go for big bucks in the auction, has been secured at a very
Correct.
decent price, I feel, and could be the future of their bowling. So let's see. But all in all, I feel this is an okay, retention from them. They could have done better. Probably with Jaddu lessening on that, and yeah, probably getting more less. So let's see what happens.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, for them, the one trick they've missed here is that entire team over the past 3 years have been built completely off of all-rounders.
Yep.
And with the retention that you see right now, there's somewhat a lack of it, except for Jadeja. Dubey, I
Mhm.
wouldn't consider as an all-rounder.
Yep.
They've let go of Chahar, Shardul. They've let go of Rachin Ravindra as well. So I don't think the balance is there. But again, the auction's coming up. They might get them for cheaper.
Correct. Correct. Fully agree.